This is the GV Podcast, a variety review podcast featuring two of the three idiots giving their thoughts on cartoons and anime. This is an opinion-based podcast, and there's no way we're saying our thoughts and opinions are objective. Keep this in mind and enjoy the show.
Happy people watching not Bleach.
Damn, you hated it that much?
Oh no, I loved it. Hello everybody, my name is Mayhem.
I'm Jinsu.
I'm Duke.
And today we are talking about Bleach, the Arrancar arc?
Yes. Well, part one.
Part 1.
Yeah. The best way to put it, I gotta mention that basically it is divided into 3 parts because of the fact that, like, there's so much filler.
The filler kind of derailed it just a little bit.
On the bright side, it kind of puts it into a cohesive, like, storyline of, like, its specific parts get cut off and then filler.
Oh, yeah.
Like it has an end point and then goes, okay, filler, start back up, end point, filler, and then start back up again. And then more filler later on. More.
I think that's the one problem with you giving me all of the information is that knowing that we're skipping over episodes and stuff like that is messing with me. That, like, I feel that, like, my brain is just going, like, oh, okay, so that means that this is, like, since we've skipped things on it, that must mean that right now we're not in an important area. But then I watch it and I go, oh no, we are in an important area.
You think that's not messing me up? I have even more knowledge than you. I have knowledge of the amount of episodes we skipped.
Yeah, and so why do you think that me having more information is good?
You have less information. You have way less information.
I need less. That's how I enjoy things. What do you?
That works.
So
Really? You're not with me there? That not knowing the entire story before you watch it?
Oh, well,
you're not knowing the entire story by knowing that you've skipped something.
I guess.
But still, like, knowing, like, all of the things that was there and is being taken out. It's
No matter what,
it's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
It depends how much I liked it and how much of it there is.
Oh yeah.
One of the problems. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
If it's like say Skyrim, right? I've never beaten Skyrim, and like I don't know anything about it, so I would just.
It's not worth it.
So I would just. You know what's
rim the
funny?
sky.
You know what's funny? My cousin said the exact opposite about Elden Ring and Skyrim.
You put Elden Ring with Skyrim.
Yeah, and he said that Skyrim was a way better game, and I'm like, I think you're comparing 2 different games.
You're comparing a banana with a pear.
Yeah. Anyways, so it's so funny, but yeah. So I don't know anything about it. So getting into it and doing all of it would be fresh, and I wouldn't. I could just, like, sink my time into it. But if there isn't anything of it, then I go and spoil myself because there's nothing.
That's
of it.
even more of a, like, not good example of trying to say that is because Skyrim it's the 5th game, but it's not connected to any of them. They're not connected at all. And Elden Ring is its own thing.
Yeah.
He was given terrible examples.
He did not know anything about Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Every time he said something, I said, you don't know anything about it. Anyways.
I usually spoil myself because I like knowing that things happen.
So it's your fault.
And then I go on to just be happy when the thing happens.
So
it's called having anxiety and not wanting to have
be
your
surprised
and not wanting to see your favorite character die.
Nah.
Thank you for describing literally every show I've ever watched.
Yes.
Nah, if I'm watching it and then we're able to...
I also have that.
If we watch it and then I know nothing about it and then something happens and it feels earned, then I'm gonna go, oh!
I'm definitely not ahead in the manga for about 6 different shows.
Well, I see 30 volumes of the My Hero Academia manga.
I'm ahead in Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm ahead in Jujutsu Kaisen, One Punch Man, Dr. Stone, My Hero, One Piece, and Bleach.
I'm gonna call you out. What is that one right there? It says 1, 2, and 3, but it's like re-0?
No.
Do I have to bleep that?
Re-fuck yourself.
One Piece Man.
One Piece Man.
Yeah. But, no, ReZero, I will be 100% transparent. I have not read that. It's there, but I have not read it. Primarily because...
Nice cover.
I know I've seen some stuff with the main character. He does not seem likable. I'm not going to read it.
Anyway, talking about Bleach.
So, non-spoilers about the Arrancar arc.
This feels like the Soul Society arc 2.0.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I basically had a whole joke when it came to the actual story. I'm going to say it right now. What is the story? one of the female protagonists ends up being taken to another dimension,
An afterlife
and so a
dimension.
party of the main cast, including our hero, his two best friends, and another one of the female protagonists, go on to save her, meeting some wacky characters along the way as they learn the rules and layout of this society. And also they have some pretty cool fights.
And there's one character that wants to fight Ichigo more than defeat him.
This is Soul Society up to Kenpachi.
Yeah.
This is Soul Society, except we're not supposed to like these guys.
Yeah, it's Soul Society where they instead
Asterix.
of
I like Grimjow.
it's like meeting the Ginyu Force.
Batman.
It's like meeting the Batman. It's like the Ginyu Force and the Great Saiyan Man, but like weirdly you met the Great Saiyan Man first and then the Ginyu Force.
Yeah.
It does kind of make it a little hard to watch when it does kind of repeat the same beats as Soul Society. But
Yeah.
I think it does it differently enough, and
It's gaining its stride.
yeah, and I think when Rukia and Orihime become the damsels in distresses, it's done in a good way, in a good like okay.
If they don't weaken
story,
the character, they weaken their powers.
yeah,
Where they get
and the reason for rescuing them is more than just they're damsels in distress.
Yes.
They've been built up as characters, and we want to rescue them.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like
that's
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
so that's why it's better, or the usual Mario saves Peach.
And it is a different person that they're saving too, so that also helps.
It's like how last time it was Rukia that was being saved, and you really liked Rukia from the beginning.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, hell yeah. We get to see more Rukia. And she's actually one of the big plot points this season. Awesome. Like, that was a whole good thing for you.
Got to bring yes.
Meanwhile, this arc, the best way I can put it is it's not that, because there's that one image out there of like how each storyline is for shows, and it's like One Piece is ever expanding. I think it was something like Attack on Titan is one massive circle where everything is connected.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Bleach, they just say it's repeating storylines. That I disagree with. The best way I would put it is there's a cohesive like A to B plot, and it's like around the middle. The best way I can imagine it is you see it's about to be a loop-to-loop, but it's like disconnected, and that loop moves each time. Of like, okay, here's the loop of like story bits. Okay, move on with the story. Okay, we're gonna reuse that real quick. Move on to the story. We're gonna reuse that real quick. Move on with the story, and it does that.
Ah, I see what you mean.
Like they reuse bits that worked previously.
Yeah.
There are a few points when it doesn't because obviously it's like
It wasn't changed enough.
it wasn't changed enough. Plus, it's like you got it. The worst part, sometimes you get it better in the previous one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna give this one away right now. The scientist who mistreats his subordinates. That is an actual. I didn't care. Did you think I cared enough to remember
He
it?
was like a robot android guy.
It was a nasty name too.
Yeah. Who, like, in the Soul Society, he was like this.
Oh,
morally,
in
he
Soul,
was this
in Soul
morally
Society,
gray-
clown guy. I loved him. Like that's the thing. He was horrible, but he was entertaining. This
Mayuri?
guy, huh?
Mayuri?
Mayuri, is that his name?
Yes.
You like
Oh,
Mayuri?
Mayuri.
You like Mayuri?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like Mayuri.
he has said that, and I, after seeing what he did in his episodes, I just turned to Duke and was just like, no.
He's despicable for me, but entertaining enough.
Oh.
He's kind of hard for me to like. But who's the guy you're comparing him to?
There is a scientist in the Arrancar that is literally one-to-one with him. He's just he's just another one of those scientists who mistreats their subordinates and does it through the reasoning of I'm a scientist.
Like,
And it's
these guys,
the
these
exact
people
same.
don't
It's
have
the exact.
worth.
It's the exact same trope that the clown dude had, but the clown dude he had the bonus of like everything he did was terrifyingly evil enough that you were at least enthralled by him being there. Of like, oh shit, what's he about to do? Dude, he even fights Uryu.
Yeah.
Ishida. He fights Ishida. And it's like, wait, so Ishida's getting kind of the same fight
With the same guy.
with the same guy
With
again.
the same trope. Yeah, the same guy
Luckily,
fights
it
the same
didn't-
trope.
I'm glad it didn't have like the same results of what happened last time.
Yeah.
Because
or
if it
it's-
went for that, that'd be stupid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are characters that are very obviously supposed to be essentially that character from before to try to reignite that flame that character made.
Now, when it's done successfully, you get Kenpachi and Grimmjow.
Grimmjow is a fun character.
You get those two.
Yeah.
Very big fan favorite.
Yeah, Grimmjow is a very good Kenpachi-like character of,
And we
I'm
even-
just here for the fight, man.
We even get the his backstory, and it very much gives a similar like emotion, where it's somebody who's just been through enough of this shit.
Yeah. I'll say this. The beats that they hit that are similar to beats from Soul Society are hit in such a different way that they work. For example, basically the way it's set up is that the Arrancar attack, and like that's the immediate difference of like it's not that they're specifically coming for Orihime or anything like that. They are coming because they want to mess shit up.
Yeah, they want to
The
unleash their
Arrancar-
plans.
Founded by Aizen.
Aizen, yes.
And that was an
And-
interesting bit of
And
like
what's in Arrancar, Duke?
an Arrancar is a hollow with the powers of a Soul Reaper.
Now,
So
what's a
it's-
hollow?
A hollow is a spirit that has basically lost its tether.
We're in the Arrancar. Why are we explaining this?
Yeah.
This was explained in the first episode.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
what's a Soul Reaper? Willem Dafoe.
What?
That's a layered
Now, what's a
reference.
visor?
That's a layered reference right there.
Yeah, we'll get to Visored in a minute. That's really cool.
Arancars are basically just the hollow versions of visors for Shinigami.
Yeah, and Visored, like, that's when that was introduced, I thought that was really cool. So, the way they set this up is that they're coming in, they're messing shit up, and it's basically everybody's got to train up, once again, to try to fight this new enemy.
And the only way that Ichigo was able to like stave them off for just a little bit was not by his own will, that like something happened to him that was being hinted at the entire time in Soul Society,
Yeah, it was...
and that he was that his hollow version was wanting to take over his body.
It's the evil transformation, and in this, I feel it is done almost perfectly.
Yeah,
like
because-
actually, this one is so close to perfectly. Like, it's probably number one. Like one of the best evil transformations.
Like the dark version of the main character that could
Well,
take them over.
you know what I mean when I
The-
say evil transformations
the
of like
corruption.
a transformation where it gives you so much power, but the cost is the biggest deal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
there's all kinds of examples of it. Like, from Hunter x Hunter, there's a big example there that I won't mention. Well, obviously you know it, but we can't mention it right now because we're not talking about that show. But other ones, like, apparently Super Saiyan was intended to be, at first, an evil transformation.
Really?
I mean, consider, you watched the original version, right?
The Ozaru, the Great Ape was...
Yes, but you saw... Did you see the original, the show when he transformed?
I didn't watch Z, I watched Kai.
Personality fully shifted.
Yeah, he was a
His
lot more
personality
serious.
shifted in a way where he literally said, Gohan, get out of here while I still have control.
Yeah.
That is a line he states. That means that, by technicality, that is an evil transformation up until they made it the everyday transformation.
I know that they did that kind of with Super Saiyan 3, where Goku completely loses all emotion.
Yeah, it's close to that. Ozaru is, at this point, the number one, like, that is an evil transformation.
Yeah.
Like,
And then a reference that not enough people will get, were in Jack and Dexter 2,
yeah.
with Dark Jack from the Dark Eco and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
That like that dark transformation that you go through.
I played, I would say, an hour of the first game.
Oh.
I did not play further.
I got
It
so
was-
far.
the game was owned by my uncle.
Yeah, the funniest thing was that I played through most of the first game, never beat it, and then 100% of the second game.
Yep, sounds about
The
right.
second game is so much harder than the first.
Yep,
Which
that sounds about right.
Jack and Dexter.
Oh yeah.
That,
Oh man, I haven't heard Jack and Daxter in forever.
I know, right?
do you know there was supposed to be a movie?
They were supposed to make a movie on that, and if
It was gonna suck anyway.
if they
who
did it
cares?
with like the
The
Ratchet
reason-
and Clank,
The reason they didn't is because of Ratchet and Clank, dude.
yeah,
But anyway.
I miss Jack and Dexter.
One of the main power-ups we get to see this arc
PlayStation
for Ichigo. One of the main power-ups for Ichigo, essentially, this season, has to do with this group called the Visored. where basically what their whole deal is they are Shinigami who have tapped into their hollow
Yeah.
or something like that.
Like they're able that instead of being a hollow going to Soul Reaper, they were a Soul Reaper going to hollow, but in
The exact opposite of the Arrancar.
the exact opposite way that they have similar strengths with each other but like draw from both sides.
Basically, the process has been built up ever since Ichigo like almost hollowified the first time to become a Shinigami.
Yeah.
And that entire sequence where it's him trying to overcome that corruption in this arc that happens, I really like the symbolism of it. That it's just like Ichigo's just like he's constantly afraid that he's gonna be like taken over. He's gonna kill somebody that he cares about and all that kind of stuff. And it's just so.
It's a cool way to nerf the character.
Yeah, like it was such a good way to like even after the Soul Society arc happened and all that kind of stuff happened, that when the Arrancars first fight and like first start attacking the regular people, that they full on just that Ichigo is just can't do what he normally does. There's no hi.
Okay, you keep making jokes about it. I do love that song. I ain't gonna lie.
And I'm gonna constantly be making fun of it because I hate it.
I love it. Like when it pops up, I'm hyped. Like I don't care what anyone
When
says.
it pops up, I'm.
Like I cannot be the only person on earth who loves that song.
I don't doubt it. It just doesn't match for me.
I can imagine it's most Bleach fans actually love that song.
Yes.
Because they're tortured into liking.
Jinzu, do you like that song?
Take my side.
Good. But anyway, I was gonna say another funny thing was halfway through this arc, because of the fact that we were having so much trouble watching the show, especially like we just weren't as interested. It's possibly because of our whole like thing with dub versus sub. We switched to dub.
We finally found out that Hulu has dub.
We switched at the perfect time, by the way. I'll say this to you as well, Jinsu. We switched at the perfect time because about a week after we switched, they removed every episode of Bleach from Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Because they lost the licensing.
They lost licensing.
It was given to Hulu and it was given to internationally Disney Plus. Yeah.
What? Bleach is on Disney Plus?
Didn't he?
Internationally, yeah.
Didn't he? Yeah, if you had like the VPN,
If you are not
go to Japan, yeah. if you had a VPN and made yourself in Japan and looked at Disney Plus, it would be a lot of anime.
Like Studio Ghibli?
Possibly. I know there's a bunch of Studio Ghibli actually on HBO Max.
Yeah.
But
no,
the
that
other
might
thing.
Just be for
so is Thousand Year Blood Arc gonna
Yep.
be there? Not
Yes.
on Crunchyroll. Wow.
Yep, exactly. Crazy, right?
And it's gonna look so much better, and it's gonna run so much better than it did on Crunchyroll.
Oh yeah.
Because Crunchyroll still
I
uses
can confirm it does. It does.
An outdated video player that doesn't work. That's from
It
2006.
works for the shows we do have it run on, but Bleach, Jesus Christ. Apparently, I got to see this as well. I was so upset. I went ahead and checked out the next episode for Bleach because I was like, oh, okay. I remember reading during the filler arc, they switched to the 16:9 ratio.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, that's only in Japanese, like the Japanese release of it. Because in the English release, they kept it 4:3 ratio until like episode 200 something.
Imagine me getting blue balled on that. About actually being able to see more than a little tiny box.
I was
4:3
upset.
isn't that bad.
It's not that bad.
No,
Dragon
it's
Ball
bad.
Z.
It's
just
bad
feel
when
like-
they force it to be that way.
I just feel like I need to be on my phone and zoom in with it.
It's similar to the way that Dragon Ball Z Abridged actually mentioned this, that they the way they set it up originally was they just had the recording from like online of Dragon Ball, and so it was 16:9 ratio, but originally Dragon Ball obviously was the 4:3 ratio, so there's a lot of moments where characters are fully cut out of the scene.
Because they didn't match the
Scene
aspect
with
ratio.
Popo's training, the scene with Popo's training, Tien is almost completely out of the shot.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But anyway, other stuff. So the reason I mentioned the whole switch to dub was because we got to hear some of the voices compared from sub to dub.
Yeah.
And I will say there are some voices that are really, really good, genuinely. The only voice I really noticed where it was like a problem was Urahara, I believe his name was. The guy with
Kisuke?
Huh?
Kisuke?
Kisuke Urahara, which was the owner of the shop, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he was the only one I noticed a problem with because he sounds like a smoker. Like, specifically, he sounds like he smokes pot.
So a stoner.
Like, he comes in and... No, dude, he sounds like he just popped out of a college dorm.
Hey.
Like, the scene where he throws a thing of that looks like blood into Ichigo's room.
Oh, yeah.
The dub version of it is... And if you think that this looks like a crime scene, then you have no sense of humor.
Number 15.
Exactly, that's the kind of voice he gives off. And it's like, that's the only problem. Johnny Young Bosch as Ichigo, that works. The voice of Chad, holy shit.
It's like 1-to-1.
The best way I could compare Chad's voice, you ever heard of a guy named Corpse Husband?
No.
Well, we can tag him in the video now!
Yep.
What?
But basically there's this YouTuber streamer named Corpse Husband who's notable for the fact that he's got this really deep voice. Like, quiet, deep voice.
I remember the deep
He makes
voice,
music.
That's Chad's voice, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost 1-to-1 with that. It is so good.
My sister and I, when we watched Bleach like 10 years ago, we would go back and forth between sub and dub because we would watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
So-
YouTube.
You were in that era, my boy!
If it wasn't in dub, we went to dub. We went to sub, and then if it wasn't in sub, we went to dub, and it was always like a pattern. It was filled in for each other somehow.
Like you got 4 episodes of sub, then had to go into
Meanwhile-
2 episodes of dub.
Yeah.
Another voice I was kind of mixed on, of like, I liked it, but I didn't know how to feel about it because of how different it was the main visored guy. Like the blonde dude who was
yeah.
basically the mentor to Ichigo about that stuff. His voice is way deeper and more like just a really good voice. I gotta say, like it's
Like,
not that it's like
the character
like the Japanese
design-
was bad. No, it's just that like it's one of those voices like similar to like a Morgan Freeman type where it's like those good voices where you're like, oh,
Yeah,
feeling awesome when it shows up.
Yeah, the Japanese voice matched the character design. More of like it being like a teenager looking kind of guy with the tracksuit.
But I liked hearing
and
the
the
English
blonde
one.
hair, and like they were doing kind of like the Swedish sort of thing where where he was more of like the hello sort of thing, but in English they full on just like gave him like a deep voice, and he was just like, and I'll teach you this, Ichigo.
And like his personality still fits, but at
teach
the
you
same
this,
time the voice was like we heard the voice and we were like,
Like
oh,
yeah,
man,
that's
I'm sitting here like, man, I don't know which one I prefer.
I
like listening to this one, but I understand that one.
It's the only time where like the voice doesn't match, but you wish it did.
Yeah. Basically, we meet the Visored, have a really cool scene where Ichigo goes to them of like, okay, go ahead and train me. And when they do, they basically say, okay, here's your essentially entrance exam. Have a really cool fight with Ichigo. He loses it, and it leads to one of my favorite kind of shots in almost any anime. The moment where a group shows you how badass they are.
Oh yeah.
Where as he's getting ready to lose it, he scares the shit out of the person he was fighting, and every person in the group just locks their swords together just to keep him down.
Yeah, it's like in a flash moment where they go from seeing him freak out and lunge at somebody, and they all just clash and pin him down. It was a really good moment to show that this group of characters has power and they're able to use it and not just be thrown to the winds at the first sign of like
These
the
guys
first
are
sign.
competent.
Yeah, these guys are competent. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Best way for me to say it is one of my favorite kind of like anime trope things, because that happens a lot in anime where like the characters, to show how badass a group is, have that moment of like they lock a person down essentially. It's one of my favorite shots.
Like imagine if Gohan as an adult turned into the Great Ape and everybody like Flash turned into like instantly dealt with the Great Ape. Because like of how many times that they've dealt with one.
Apparently that scene happens in Black Clover. I've seen that scene a million times.
That scene also happens in One Piece.
Is that a spoiler? Is that the question?
Does that happen later? I forget.
Is that the spoiler?
Like I was trying to think of one with One Piece, and the only one that came to mind was that moment where Bellamy knocks Luffy to the ground, and you just see Zoro there, just like, okay, I'm ready. Want me to go? And it's like, Zoro, don't fight. And it's like, that's the one moment that I thought of. Is it later moment?
Well, he meant like when the characters just defeat someone, like they do it like very swiftly and like.
I'm talking about the lockdown moment of like the entire group
Yeah,
holding their weapons out.
that too. Like it's like they lock them down, but they also like beat the shit out of them first, and then it's like, okay, you're down.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite like cuts.
It's like the hold me back mentality, but the person's literally turning into a feral animal.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video where the dog's like where the small pug is barking at like the huge pit bull, and then the guy like picks it up, puts it next to the pit bull, and the dog literally just stops barking and goes, and gets on the other side of the guy, gets back to the other side, and starts barking again.
Yeah. Yeah, dogs are like that.
It's so funny. It's so funny to me when dogs are proven to be like just absolutely cowards.
Yeah.
That they're full on just like, yeah, I want to make it's all bark and no bite.
It's always chihuahua.
That's where that term came from. 100%.
Yeah.
When it's a chihuahua, when chihuahuas, unfortunately with chihuahuas, it's like 90-10, where 90% of the time they're the stereotype chihuahua, and 10% of the time they're actually like good dogs.
They're actually cute.
They're actually like properly trained.
You know what that 10% is? Their owner.
Their owner.
Yeah.
That they actually take care of the dog.
Yeah.
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 Imagine doing that, but imagine doing the takedown scene, but it's just a chihuahua. It's like,
no, it's that scene, but it's with the cat with the knife.
So you know what the chihuahua would be doing? It would be fighting all the knives.
Yeah. So the Visor, they help him out. They train Ichigo, and we get a whole moment where he's training, understanding his hollow form, and he ends up going full hollow.
He goes full hollow, and like it reminded me of Frieza.
Yeah.
Like a very rabid, like a
rabid version of Frieza, basically.
Like if Frieza was raised in the woods and was
he went full Satan.
Monkey!
He went full Satan.
Like Broly?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really cool the way they handle that. But he transforms back.
He has like a tail and stuff like that.
Now he's able to control that whenever he goes into his Bankai.
Like Goku from Fortnite?
So, what happens is, during this time, we've basically seen that Orihime is depressed.
Oh my god, it's literally like, if she wasn't part of like a shonen, right? That's what this is. If she wasn't part of a shonen anime and part of like a different kind of anime,
it would be Silent Voice. Let's just end it there.
She would not have survived this long.
No, they need her.
No, the answer is, if it weren't Bleach, it'd be Silent Voice. That's the best way I can put it.
If the author was just a little bit more messed up.
It'd be Silent
He's messed
Hill
up
2.
enough.
A silent voice. Yeah.
No, it would be Silent Hill 2, where she's calling them to this dark, dreary, grayed out place, and then they go, and then they fight all these demons and monsters that are creepy and weirdly gross.
Yo, I'm seeing a connection
and then she's not even there, and then it was all just
a psychiatric evaluation.
It was all just
and trauma
a schizo
blocking
dream
and trauma blocking.
I remember there was
and being a schizophrenic.
And you can make the house brown because you can make it poop itself.
You could cut this if you wanted, but
stop saying that.
Browning.
What?
You can keep this if you wanted, but
just say it.
So there's this show called Wonder Egg Priority.
What? I'm wondering if you're an egg.
It's
with priorities.
It's basically
that's my priority.
It's these like teenagers who fight monsters and all this shit.
Yeah.
It is a show that I have not wanted to watch because of the fact that it deals a lot in the topic of depression and like stuff around that. Basically, is the best way I can put it.
Don't play Doki Doki Literature Club. And
don't worry, think I haven't.
Don't worry, I've already seen all of it and went.
Don't play Omori.
You think I like watching stuff with depression? Oh, that!
And don't watch Naruto.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Hey, finally! Ow!
Hey, I'm into depression if it's shown in depression.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't matter.
Luffy losing all his crew, I'm there. I'm there.
I'm
right there!
Don't watch Undertale Genocide Runs on YouTube.
Don't watch Undertale.
I've watched it twice.
Fun. Don't watch Deltarune. It's a bad game.
Oh, but basically what I was gonna say.
Nah,
Was
it's
Wonder
good.
Egg priority. I'd recommend it if you want a real like. I know that you want some fucked up readings, so there's one for you.
It's not. I don't want to watch something messed up in the way of depression. I want things to.
Then why are you reading Berserk?
Because it's awesome. It's one of the best character things that I've seen written about a character that I've ever seen.
Okay, read Tokyo Ghoul.
I gotta finish.
Don't watch Tokyo Ghoul.
I gotta
Read Tokyo Ghoul.
finish Berserk though. I've read Berserk, but I gotta finish Berserk. Isn't that right, Jinsu?
What?
I gotta finish Berserk.
You gotta catch up.
And you gotta finish Elden.
Because guess what? There are new chapters coming.
Oh.
Well, you need to finish what inspired Elden Ring.
Yeah.
So go do that.
Okay. Bye, guys.
So now that he's gone,
Am I dead yet?
let's talk about Orihime.
I'm back.
So she's got
Let's
depression.
talk about Neliel 2's real form.
What?
That's a spoiler.
What?
We're not there yet.
Oh,
Did I call it?
Okay.
Oh my god!
Dude. Okay. Jinsu, I gotta tell you right now, the funniest thing, around the last episode of We Were Watching, I'm talking about Nell, and he says, I'm betting on it now, she's gonna be a Yoruichi type. No, that doesn't happen, okay? That doesn't happen.
The prophecy.
And, you know the
No,
worst part?
another character type
Jinsu,
the
you
trope
know
that
the
I
worst
really
part?
like.
We start, hey, Jinsu, we start here.
Ow.
That's how close.
wow.
Was it literally the next
The
episode?
the title of the episode is...
How do you do that so easily, Jinsu?
Do you want to hear the title just because of that?
What's the title?
Nell's secret: a busty beauty joins the battle. How do you do that? How do you have that power to be able to give away a spoiler so subtly?
So subtly and so hilariously.
You know what's funny? So my roommate was watching Attack on Titan, right? And
Hey.
And then you went, man, I can't believe
No,
that
so-
Hanji died
no,
or
no,
something.
so the episode right before they
or
find
no, what's
out,
her name? No, what's her name?
the episode when they find out what the
Potato
walls
Girl.
really are. The episode when they find out what the walls really are. I asked, "Hey, did you see the Titans in the wall?" And he was like, "The what?"
The what?
And I was like, "That was at the end of the last episode preview." And he was like, "The what?" And then right as I said that. The fucking wall breaks
I
apart.
meant
and he's
Potato
just a
Girl, by
face.
the way.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. No, what's her name?
I was like, that's not right.
I was like, wait a minute. What's her name? Shit. Okay, Sasha. I just imagine you walk in. Man, can you believe that Sasha's dead?
She's what? Boom!
Not blatant stuff like that. I always say some shit like, her last words will be meat.
You're a monster.
And then there's the scene with Armin reacting to Beyblade.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so glad there are some spoilers that you've given where I'm like, oh, thank God it's not that one. Like every time, that's my feeling of like, for example, like you've done one with Chainsaw Man where I won't mention it, but it was one spoiler there where you said it, and I was like,
No, he didn't
oh.
say it. He showed it.
Yeah, he showed it, and I was like, oh, thank God, it's not that one, kind of thing. But then you go with this show, and you go, Nell has tits, and it's like, thank God.
And her real name is Neliel 2.
Stop.
Okay, that's going a little far, dude.
Neliel 2, that's her name.
I know, but
Good name. Look at it, don't just call it.
Use your name.
we haven't even mentioned Nell yet. We haven't even gotten to the Hollow World yet.
We haven't even gotten there, and you said that. I'm so glad I predicted it. I'm so
Dude,
happy.
now you know how I feel, by the way?
I
that.
was looking at you the entire time, and I was just like,
I don't give shit away. Is the problem?
no, you sometimes do. When I get that close, you sometimes give it away.
I give it away in the same episode where it happens.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Cause, dude,
Or the
I
same
hate
minute
it.
when I go, what, is he dead? He's dead!
I hate it when people are spot on about a prediction and I just have to, and then they look at me and they're like, "I'm right, aren't I?"
And you just have to answer, is that the question?
well, that's the thing. For me, I'm flat face enough when it comes to scenes where I don't react unless it's in the moment where I know something's about to happen and it's funny. Cause then I'm laughing too hard. Of like, no, there's been some moments. Oh, what was it? There was a show recently where that happened. Okay, The latest, one of the latest arcs we watched for
Denji
One Piece.
dies in Chainsaw Man.
One Piece. We were watching that, and I knew a joke was coming, and I was like starting to laugh so fucking hard, and you were just looking at me like, "What's about to happen? What's about to happen?" And I'm just You remember what scene it was?
Oh, I know.
Which one?
Sanji.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Orihime.
Dies in the
During a massive fight where a bunch of people are close to death, essentially, what she ends up doing is
saving them.
She encounters Ulquiorra, who is this pale-faced dude, and has a conversation where basically he says, "I'll make sure they live as long as you come with me," as Aizen has told me to do.
Yep.
And she does, and so she leaves with him. Meanwhile, in the background, there was this whole rivalry being built up with a character named Grimjow, who is one of the big Arrancar, who's just awesome, and Ichigo.
Imagine if Starscream was a good character. That's Grimjaw.
Yes.
What?
Imagine. Well, like he like works on the side of the main bad guy, but doesn't actually 100% follow his footsteps.
He does. He has not opposed him in any way.
Yeah. Like Starscream.
But he still just does whatever.
No, Starscream opposes Megatron all the time.
Starscream is just a piece of shit.
When it's convenient.
No, he's like
Just no.
he's like Garp.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
He's like Luffy.
Or Bartholomew Puma.
He's like Boofy.
He's like
Boruto.
Hey, by the
and
way,
that
do you
he's
know
edited
that,
out of
Puma
canon.
is actually the name of a character in a fairy tale. Apparently, there's a bunch of characters in fairy tale who are literally just characters from One Piece with like a letter changed.
what?
That makes me very mad.
How do you think I feel, motherfucker? Imagine me watching and seeing, what was it, like, Dragon or something like that, and it's an obvious parody of Dragon,
Yeah.
Monkey D. Dragon,
Yeah.
or watching and Puma shows up, and it's an obvious parody of Kuma,
We're seeing
Sanji, and it's Banji.
Banji.
Zoro
and it's Zoro because he's lost.
Yeah!
seeing Natsu and thinking, he doesn't look like Luffy.
So, other than
He
that,
got the
let's go
same
ahead and...
shirt on. It's just different colors. And he
There
has
you-
a scarf on.
Now that...
According to national copyright law, it's not Luffy.
Now that Orihime leaves, basically the entire crew has to join together and head into Hueco Mundo to
unsanctioned
save-
because
yeah, unsanctioned.
the old guy is just like, what if she did it of her own free will? And everybody was like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, basically, it's a tough thing, honestly. Here you go.
Fairy tale.
Literally 1-to-1.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is Wonder Woman. You're right.
Man, I can't believe you just whip it out like that, Jinsu. I can't believe it. It's an avocado.
Balls. Bam. Walking balls.
Guac and balls.
Torture?
Guac and ball torture.
Stop saying guac and balls. Stop.
I've chosen not to talk. No. So, they go into Hueco Mundo, and they encounter all kinds of crazy shit, including these wacky individuals named Nell, and the rest don't matter.
Curb your tongue! Say at least the other two guys' names, because I don't remember them.
I haven't watched this arc in 10 years, so I definitely don't remember.
It's the guy with like the tiki face, the orange tiki face,
Oh,
Nell's two friends.
and the other one looks like the bug.
yeah.
One of them has some kind of Italian name.
Yeah, it's like Pierre or something.
Pesci. There's Pesci and Ungala. I don't know what his name is. Ungala!
It's Aku.
Ah, there you go. It's Aku.
From Crash Bandicoot.
So we got Aku and we got Pesci.
I just want to mention real fast the mask. Aku and Crash Bandicoot. The amount of times that he just watches Crash die.
And goes, damn.
No, he goes, sucks to be you.
He goes, oh, I got to turn back time again.
So, what ends up happening is they
Dondo
join...
Chaka.
Don de Chaka.
Don de Chaka. I was close.
That's another Italian name.
No.
Not at all.
Don. Duh. Fuck you.
Smart ass dick Catholic.
Doesn't he look? Yeah.
Pesci Gua.
He looks like he's part of the Frieza Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, the eye patch looks like a scanner.
Don't keep scrolling. Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, what was that?
You didn't see anything.
Was that Pesci and Drag?
Yeah, that was.
I hope not.
Monkey D.
No, you hope so. That's not a spoiler.
No, I was hoping it would be Donachaka.
And Drag?
Yes.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, right? So,
I find it funny when they go to Juego Mundo, where the Arrancar's base is. They like at first when they're first there, everything's black and white, and like the sky is like terrible gray and all that kind of stuff because it's an afterlife sort of situation. It's like purgatory.
yeah.
And then later on, when they're fighting somebody and they bust down the wall and end up outside, it's back to a blue
Not
sky.
outside.
Is
There's
that
inside, technically.
what?
So, let me talk about that. So, they break into the facility where the Arrancar are, and what ends up happening is they get to fight several members of the Arrancar, including this group of essentially, like, lesser Arrancar.
Wait till he finds out about this.
Yes, I know. Shut the fuck up.
Don't take off, Duke. Don't take off your glasses, Duke. Don't take off your no. Koichi returns.
But, so, basically what ends up happening is they battle a bunch of the different Arrancar, and... and that includes these Arrancar who are basically put down for the fact that, they failed in some way.
They were the fallen from grace sort of enemy, where like they had to earn back their respect.
One of them was voiced by Knuckle.
What?
One of them was voiced by Knuckle.
Oh,
Matt Mercer?
I thought you were about to
No.
say. I thought you tried to say Knuckles and failed, so I was just like, what?
Sorry, Knuckles.
And
No, there was one voiced by Knuckle and one voiced by Knuckles.
That's
right!
I was right.
That makes it funnier, though.
Get your finger
Yeah, no,
away from me.
basically,
Don't you point at me.
there's
I'll point
one
at you.
voiced by Ben Diskin, and there's one voiced by Travis Willingham, I believe his name is. Who is, one, he's a guy from Critical Role. Two, he's the voice of Ace and Knuckles.
The Echidna.
Yeah, the Echidna. Then one guy, the scientist I mentioned earlier, is voiced by Ben Diskin. And once again, that was the only one where I kind of zoned out. I didn't even know he left.
Yeah, it's just... It
He
was
left?
such a retread that we were just like, alright, he's done now.
No, you said, I hope he doesn't pop out of nowhere. And I was like, wait, who? And you said, the scientist guy.
Yeah, the
And I was like,
scientist
wait, what? He,
Yeah, let me
I
say
thought he died.
Yeah, let me say, like...
Or like, wait,
He
the battle's
fights-
over?
He fights Ishida and almost gets killed. Comes back, his clothes are all torn. His tores are all clone. And goes, well, that was a good effort. Well, I'll be back to, I need to defeat you in proper clothing, proper outfit. And Ishida's just like, that sounds like a bad idea. And Pesci goes, shouldn't we wait for him? Like, it's like a funny haha moment. And I build on that and go, yeah, it would be great if we didn't have to deal with him again. And Duke turns to me and goes, deal with who?
I was like, wait, deal with who?
And I was like, the scientist.
I was like, wait, is that fight over?
Just that, he just walked away.
When? And I was sitting there like, when? What? When did this happen?
He literally reversed it back like 20 seconds, and it was him walking away.
And I'm just like, no, I don't see it. What are you talking about?
Oh god.
I swear, I'm not even kidding. It blacked out so hard in my memory that I was just like, Jesus Christ, this one bit killed me for a moment. The scientist guy did not matter. Some of these, that's one of the problems when
this was
you got...
canon. There was a lot of things that happened in this arc. That was a lot of canon filler.
He was the Foxy Pirates of the Arrancar.
Exactly.
What?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Where
He
it's something
was
that was in the actual story, in the original story, that isn't made for TV, but still could have been left out and nothing would have really been lost.
What was the name of the arc you guys skipped in Bleach?
In Bleach?
The bounce?
Yeah. The bounce.
bounce
the
arc?
Bounce, the Gantz,
The Bounce, the vampire arc?
Yeah. He's the bounce.
Who?
He's the
Who's the bounce?
scientist.
The scientist. He's the
Who?
He's the Bount of canon.
Who?
I'm going to hurt you. The fact that you recognize the bounce before the scientist.
Yeah, everybody remembers the bounce.
Because everybody skips him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
What other reason would it be?
To move on.
Oh, good idea. So, the literal last bit we get, honestly, is Ichigo's fight with Grimmjow. Because, once again, there was so many different fights going on all over the place. Chad being cool, having a fight where he showed off his Diablo arm, where he's got a sword and a shield now.
Yeah, now finally it was revealed that he was been a shield for so long, and his arm represented that finally, that his other arm got to be a sword, and it transformed also, and I went, oh!
And he still doesn't do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay,
Dude,
I made this joke. The moment that he was talking about, like, who he is...
You make jokes?
There was this whole moment where, because he goes, I'm not a Soul Reaper, I'm not a Quincy, and I'm certainly not human. So what am I? I know what I am. And then I cut in, I know what I am. And then I cut in, Mexican!
Representation!
And I went, Mexican! Representation!
And then a taco fell from heaven itself.
And I was so happy. I'm not
And
lying.
then Japan got canceled.
And then he hit him with the baseball bat that was wrapped like a burrito.
I am not gonna lie. Every time I see
I
Chad,
want burritos now.
Yeah.
Chad is the version of representation that I truly approve of. Of fuck yeah, badass Mexican, hell yeah.
I kind of want carne asada fries actually.
Oh, don't talk about food!
You do this occasionally in the middle of recordings, and it's the funniest thing.
You know, I'm kind of fiending for some steak.
It hurts.
Steak.
It hurts me now, and it hurts me when I have to edit
The
this.
best part is you weren't even specific. The
Steak.
fact that you just went, I feel like.
Steak.
You could have been like so specific of just like, I feel like.
Have you ever had Korean barbecue?
Carne
Yes. Stop talking about food! Please!
So,
Oh wait,
Grimmjow.
What was that, Jitsu?
hometown buffet.
Ah!
They used to have mashed potatoes, a shit ton of mashed potatoes, and then you can also have slushies or.
Alright, this is the last day of Jinsu's life because I'm going to eat him.
So,
I'm not going to kill him, I'm going to eat him.
so Grimmjow's fight was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was essentially like Kenpachi version 2. Except instead of going inside himself to get stronger.
Stop saying it like that.
Where instead of doing
You were
that,
saying like that throughout the entire show when we're watching it. I'm just like...
When? What?
You were saying now it's the time where he goes inside himself, and I'm like, you need to get into a hospital.
you mean the
He
scene
went
where,
into himself.
You mean the scene where he was grilling hamburgers with?
We're not talking about Peter Grill. No.
It's like Frankie, but instead of a fridge, it's a oven.
So, he instead of what he did in the
God, what
Kenpachi
happened to
fight,
me?
where he went inside himself and discovered his true potential, instead of that, Orihime said, "You can do it. You can win. You can do this," and he fucking beat the shit out of Grimmjow.
He got a lot of motivation for some reason from Orihime.
She made him some enchiladas.
The power of boners.
It's a strong power.
He's a very strong power. Dude, there is a show, I don't know what show it is, but I remember seeing this clip where there's this moment of, oh man, this one girl said that she'd be willing to sleep with him, but only if he lives? Finishes the fight.
Isn't that
Actual dub moment.
isn't that a manga thing in One Punch Man where what's her face, the green girl?
That is a edit of it.
Damn it!
I know what you're talking about, and it's not exactly that. In fact, those two really don't like each other. That's the best part about it.
What is with that small angry child?
It's literally the character that Genos said shut up to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no,
But
the
for
character
Buki,
that...
her older sister, carne asada fries.
By the way, Tornado is actually the older sister, while Blizzard is the younger sister.
Fubuki is the younger sister.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna nod and accept what you guys are saying, so you guys don't feel like you have to say more.
So let me grab my book and show you real quick. In chapter 4.
I've come all this way, and yet I still do the smile and wave tactic.
The scenes where Luffy just eats a crap ton of food, or Goku, and they're just like going at it. It makes me hungry as shit. I was like, now I gotta eat something.
But they matched. Okay, that's what you gotta watch in order to actually eat something. Is just watch that. Have a 10-hour loop of those. I've seen a 10-hour video of, you know, that character from SpongeBob where he chugs that thing of mayonnaise.
No.
Somebody asked. Somebody put in the comments, "Hey, could you make a 20-hour version? I hate having to hit restart on this 10-hour version." And they made it.
24 hours.
I can't wait for the comment. 20 hours? Come on, man. I keep having to hit restart. Make it 40.
Make it 40. Oh my god.
It was what's the word? Exponentially grows.
What is
you remember, like,
okay? What is a 10-hour loop you've seen that you hated knowing that it's a 10-hour loop of? Like, just a 10-hour loop where you saw its existence and was like, no, I refuse this.
The Sparta remixes.
Yeah, I see that one. I watched that one for a while, but it was a song one. I know it was a song one.
And it don't stop coming, and it don't stop coming, and it don't stop coming, and
it might have been. It might have been,
and it didn't stop coming.
Much like me.
Till the cast start running.
Don't tell me you're enough.
No, I just go to both of you. Enough.
All right, guys.
Pull out a gun.
It's
time to stop.
You just shoot yourself. You don't even try and threaten us with it. You try and go. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. I got this gun, and we're like, oh no, don't try and threaten us. And it's just you just shoot yourself, and it's just like, well, now I lost all the fun in it.
Yeah.
Stop trying to. The finger pistol don't work.
You haven't watched Yu Yu Hakusho.
Correct. In fact, I don't even know what word you just said.
It's literally.
Don't elaborate.
So popular.
What's One Piece again?
Wait, I got an idea. I'm done. So I'm just hitting stop record. Okay. Yeah, no, we've lost the rails so early on because of the fact that it's Bleach.
Yeah, but it's basically done. Like,
yeah,
that was that arc.
Yeah,
like,
it's not a lot to it.
I hate to say it like that, but yeah, that was this arc. A lot of retreading of similar tropes that we've seen before from Soul Society, and then a really good fight, like Ichigo learning the new power, dealing with his hollow self, and then him fighting Grimjow in a really good fight. That was the entire arc.
There were tidbits that were interesting, but it wasn't big enough to mention, is the worst part.
Yeah. That's why I feel... That's why
Naruto and One Piece are going to be your favorite of the big three.
That's why I'm a little bit worried about Bleach's standing, is that, like, to me, like, it started off so strong, like, learning everything, and then... What's wrong, Jinsu? Huh? Am I saying something you don't like?
Wait. What are you saying?
That's what it is. You just need a Yoruichi to pop up.
I wonder when that'll happen.
I wonder when.
Anyway. But yeah, just real fast to say that Bleach started off so strong and learning, and the like them showing everything in the world and how the status quo is in the show's world, like their status quo is changing and all that kind of stuff. But learning about that and then just seeing it happen again, I feel like if we accidentally skipped the Soul Society and went to the Arrancars, with how fondly I'd look at the Soul Society arc, I would look at the Arrancars arc instead.
Yeah.
I feel like that's happening right now.
Yeah.
That there's going to be something that might overpower that in the other two arcs, but
consider
right
the other
now,
two arcs as like part of it, so yeah.
So did I make any sense, Jinsu?
That was it, yeah.
Anything to add?
So let's talk characters. And the only two I want to mention, because it's the two new groups. It is the Arrancar and the Visor. What do you feel about those guys? Also, any others you'd like to mention, like Nell.
So Nell is
Don
actually
DeChaka.
Nell is actually like a child character that didn't seem too terrible. Like there's that one girl in the shop that I hate
Oh yeah.
with a passion,
Nell is baby.
but Nell
That's why
is
she's drooling and stupid.
yeah. Yeah, so it's a child character done right.
Yeah.
That and also has use in the story for while Orihime isn't there. You follow me? What are you so thirsty for?
You know, I heard him gulp and it was like distracting.
I heard him blinking.
I just saw your turn to me, and I'm just like,
He does drink water.
when it's next to me, yeah.
Don't spit on the keyboard.
So then they slayed the Grim Jabberwocky.
Grimjabba. I will say that from the visors,
The
they're like
Jabberjaw.
they're unique enough that I know that they exist, but they're not standoutish enough to like they're supposed to be like they're supposed to fill a bit of the role of the market group of the store people. I can't remember any of their names, so that's why I'm gonna go with it. But that's what the role they're supposed to fill. But it still felt a bit unnecessary to me for them all being there filling that role. It was like 10 people filling the role of what was originally 5 people's role. Or 4 people's. 5 counting your reach.
Cat lady, man.
Yes. Oh, don't say it like that. But so that's the only problem with the Visored. The Arrancars, on the other hand, they're a bit like the captains of the squads. And they do have some they do have some interesting designs that I like, and the fact that when they do their Bankai thing, where they like do the power up, they don't use it on their sword; they use it on themselves, which I really like as a good like parallel opposite to the Soul Reapers.
And they kind of revert to their hollow forms.
Yeah. That it's a good
It
reference
was
to that.
so funny because like every time it popped up, it was basically just Mayhem going, "It's exactly what I wanted from JoJo."
Yes, that's what I was saying. That like I was hoping like the way that Hermit Purple is for
You can say it.
You know, Dio uses Hermit Purple at one point.
Yeah.
Oh.
And a better one.
Oh, interesting. But yeah, but the fact that the stands are a representation of their soul, I feel like it would have been better for them to be attached to the soul and not be like a separate thing.
Yeah.
They could have gone the direction that they did, or they could have done in the same direction as the Arrancars.
Yep.
And I still have a preference for it, I think.
So, Arrancars.
So Pesci.
So Pesci was Pesci.
Pesci is like
He's like you, Jinsu.
like me?
Yeah.
His first joke was stupid, followed by his "I am the jokester to the straight man" joke, which that worked for me.
Where'd Renji go? You can't have a jokester without the straight man.
Exactly, that's fun. Don DeChaka, fun design. Kind of sucked that he was a crybaby bitch.
And then there's Nell.
Though, dude, he does have the best dub voice. It's funny as hell.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, it's more like this. You know what I'm talking about, man. It's more like this. Oh, why would you talk about Don DeChaka like that, man? What the hell? You know what I'm talking about?
And that's why I said that he's Italian also.
Yeah. That's the only way he's Italian. Not that name.
In nature.
Don DeChaka.
No. Don DeChaka.
Ave Maria!
So.
Don't make me drop it.
Yeah, there's not much to mention with the characters. Nell, once again, adorable little kid character. She's
Man,
fun.
I wonder what happens.
Shut the hell up.
I hope she doesn't die.
Man,
What?
Yoruichi, such a fun little cat character. So fun.
I
So
hope she doesn't
adorable.
die.
A cat with a funny voice.
Final thoughts before your thought.
Her name is is Stanley.
Final thoughts before your thought. I should turn off the stove when I go home. So anyways,
Thoughts with Jinzu.
this is a really cool
Butterfly in the sky.
Really cool.
Shut the fuck up, he's talking!
Shut up! Shut up!
Ooh.
Thoughts with Jinsu?
Oh,
Your final thoughts about the Arrancar arc.
this is a really cool.
So come on, you're
introduction.
free to talk. So go ahead, you're free to talk. Stop!
Stop!
Can't stop.
Stop it.
What are your thoughts on the Arrancar arc?
Hey, Jinsu. When'd you get here?
No, I thought it was a really cool introduction to the Hueco Mundo and the hollow natural area, and as well as the backstories into the Espada, what they used to be as
Oh,
hollows.
that was the thing too that they started using a lot more of the Spanish name of things.
Yeah, I love the usage of like the Spanish names for everything.
And the Spanish music.
Oh, yes.
Peak.
No, she's not in this.
I wish it was.
Anyway, here's Nell.
Anyway, here's a different monster from hell.
Oh. How do you get a picture of my penis? It's just right there. It's just that easy. Hey, you know what I'm talking about, man. Hey, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Hey. But continuing on with the Arrancar, talking about that, it was a bit of a retread, but I'm not too worried about the next two arcs, where I feel like comparing it to what happened in the Soul Society arc, that we get some really good fights towards the end. So that means that in the Arrancar, obviously, we gotta have some really good fights. I just hope that there is that since Orihime was technically saved at the end of this arc, that hopefully somebody else doesn't get captured and they have to save them, and it kind of and they're supposed to just replace the saving them motive. That I hope that it kind of changes and becomes more of like, well, if we're able to survive this, then let's just go and kill them. Let's just solve their problem.
Yeah.
You know, that Aizen problem, we murdered him. You don't got a problem no more.
So my thoughts were basically because of the fact that it's primarily just treading some similar ground that drove me away from it a bit. So I'll be excited for new stuff they do.
Definitely at the end of this, there's definitely, and that there has been the change in that Orihime is now safe, and the groups are a bit more separated more than they were in the
She
Soul
goes
Society.
back. She's decided that now Aizen's decided now it's time for her execution.
She's
And
decided
so now
she's going to defect
he has to go off
to the hollow side.
Turns out that Jin ends up stabbing this one girl.
It just starts saying everything that happens in Bleach.
No, it becomes that Jin is the new Aizen, and
Jinsu, you're in Bleach?
Yeah.
You drank it?
Yeah. That's how I ended up as a hollow.
That's how. No, that's just called being dead.
No, that's just what Bleach does to you.
Man, I can't wait to
Thoughts
meet
with Mayhem.
Stan Lee. Oh, you will.
Thoughts with Mayhem.
My thought is Betty.
Betty.
Her name is Betty.
My thoughts are, what would your hollow mask look like? There you go.
No, why on earth would I say that? Anyway, Jinsu, what would your hollow mask? Chankla. There's something on your...
Exactly.
I'm gonna go step in chicken shit and hit you with it.
It would look like.
Waka.
Mine would be pig.
His would be a very obvious pig. Would
Mine
yours
would
be
be-
tiger?
Because they're more animalistic, monstrous.
Mine would be
Hi, Jinzu, when did you get here?
a fox.
Oh, fuck.
Fox.
Like the,
Your
like the
entire
one in,
personality is based around a tiger. Why would it be a fox? Motherfucker! Just kills him.
No.
So anyway, mine would be a Pesci, and there you go. Done.
So,
Mine would be
so an
Dumbo
insect.
Yes.
An insect, really?
Yes.
Why?
Super Sentai. That's why.
Oh, I'm sad now.
Kamen Rider.
Kamen Rider, a lot of them are based on bugs.
Your answer saddens me.
Heracross.
Heracross.
His answer saddens me.
Kabuto.
I'm very
Helmet bug.
I'm very upset now.
Helmet bug.
I don't
Kabuto
like that
Mushi.
answer.
Helmet bug.
I will hurt you if you keep... Don't touch me.
What's next? The next part of Arrancar is what's next.
Is that what's next, Duke?
Yes. Boobs.
Well, I guess that's the end.
This recording was awful.
If you want to see more of our content, you can find our YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter on our Linktree at linktree/greenvillains. That's linktr.ee/greenvillains.